Greetings, Earthlings, and welcome back to Watchcastage. Today, I wanted to share a couple of reasons why I stopped wearing a smartwatch. I'm not going to be denying the utility of them, the health benefits that they might offer. I'm just sharing some reasons why I stopped wearing a smartwatch, because that's what this entire channel is about, sharing my journey into watches and what I've learned about them and why I've made decisions that I've made. This right here is my personal Apple Watch Series 4. I wore this for 2 or 3 years, and prior to this, I had the Series 2 or Series 3. I don't even know, because it's very hard to decipher what the differences between them are. But I wore this for many, many years, but I eventually took it off, threw it in a drawer, and never charged it again, and that was around May of last year. Reason one why I decided to take this watch off of my wrist is basically privacy concerns about the data collection. I have no doubt that Apple has the best of intentions and that they do everything in their power, they do everything in their power to keep the data they're collecting secure. But even with the most well-intentioned companies, there's always the possibility that they will screw up. And the last thing that I want getting leaked to some group of hackers, it's my health data. I know that people will say, well, you're carrying your smartphone with you, and that's tracking you too. It's getting all the nanobots in your... Yeah, you're right. That's totally tracking my location, but it's not tracking my health. It's not tracking my blood pressure. It's not tracking my heartbeat. I did not want a company to be tracking that 24 hours a day, and the device that's capturing all of that to have antennas that is broadcasting that to my phone, but that data, that broadcast could be infiltrated by some nefarious third party. Now I know everybody's thinking, oh, look at this Watchcastage guy, he's got tinfoil on his head. So what? That's reason number one. Reason number two kind of scared me. I would constantly feel these phantom buzzes on my wrist, because the watch will buzz. It has taptic feedback or haptic feedback. It buzzes when you get a text, it buzzes when you get a phone call, and I started to feel those buzzes on my wrist, and at that moment I said, oh no, I have become trained by Apple, and I constantly reach down, touch the screen, and look to see what's going on there. I did not like Apple or any company training me to that level, scared the pants off of me. That's reason number two. Reason number three is pretty much going to solidify the idea, the picture that you're getting of me in your head, that I'm some kind of curmudgeonly old man. That is accurate. Essentially, I hated being reachable all day since your phone and your text messaging machine is now on your wrist, which you are much less likely to take off and leave in a separate room, so you no longer have that excuse. And since we're already living in a culture of, why didn't you respond to my text or answer my call immediately? We're living in that immediate culture. Having something on your wrist makes it so if you don't reply or if you don't answer a call, you're essentially admitting to that person that you are doing something more important than answering their call, or you're just ignoring them. I don't like providing that much insight. I like leaving my phone in another room while I'm recording. With this on your wrist, doesn't really allow for that. Reason number four is these watches just don't have any real character to them. They're pieces of bland and boring and sterile metal and glass. I believe this is the Generation 4 right next to it. They're nearly identical. There are minor differences, I believe, on the crown. One has a red centerpiece. I believe that's red. I'm colorblind. I can't tell. But very little character to them, and everybody's watch is identical. I don't like that. I like having at least one thing on me that adds a little bit of flair that is mine. Reason number five is you have to take this off your wrist every single night and throw it on a charger. That may not seem like the biggest deal to everybody else, but I just hate having one more thing to charge. And then when you have an automatic, you can just throw this on your wrist, and as long as you're moving, it will charge, it will function, it will run. You don't have to worry about it. But if you forget to do it with this watch, you're not going to know what time it is. The watch becomes useless. With an automatic or a manual, any kind of mechanical watch, you don't have to worry about that. On the note of things that people probably don't mind, and I am just being nitpicky, reason number 6, this is another device that will require constant firmware updates, whether it be weekly, monthly, quarterly, annually. You will need to ensure that you keep this device up to date. Otherwise, you may be exposed to some kind of security breach. Your data may become vulnerable because you do not update it. Now, for some folks, that may not seem like a big deal, but for me, having to constantly check and ensure that I am up to date is just one more thing that I don't want to worry about. And another add-on to the prior reason number 7, smartwatches have a relatively short life. These will become obsolete in 4 or 5 or maybe 6 years on the long end once the companies decide to stop supporting it with the firmware. You're not going to be able to pass this down to somebody. This is a device that you are buying, using for a relatively short period of time, given the $400, $500 price point, and then essentially throwing it away or recycling it. This is the watch that I have currently been wearing, and this is a 30-year-old watch, and it's still functioning as good as it did day one. That is not something you're going to be able to do with an Apple Watch or an Android watch, whatever kind of smartwatch you're getting. Those are going to become obsolete, and you're spending $400, maybe even up to $1,000, or if you're one of the crazy people who bought one of those golden Apple Watches, I think those were upwards of $10,000, and that was obsolete in 4 years. That's a terrible way to spend money. So I will personally prefer to go with something that will last much longer, that I can wear for decades, and I don't have to worry about becoming obsolete. And the final reason why I stopped wearing these smartwatches is I don't want the reptilians to brain control me through the nanobots that are being injected into my skin through the rear of the watch. Obviously, that's the main reason why I stopped wearing them. I'm sure that somebody's going to take that. That's a joke. Okay, that's a joke. Or is it? Or is it? Those are my 8 reasons, 7 real reasons, 8 including the jokey reason, but that is why I stopped wearing a smartwatch and now opt to wear mechanical watches. And I hope that was insightful. I hope you found that interesting. And if you do enjoy wearing smartwatches, don't let me talk you out of wearing them. That's not the point of this. I'm just sharing my journey because I always like hearing where people come from, where they're going, what their thought processes are, and that's why I'm doing this. So if you found this fun, interesting, or helpful, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. I can't bend my wrists that way. If you hated it, thumbs down. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I put out videos bi-weekly pretty regularly. I did miss a couple of weeks ago, but I did throw up an unboxing yesterday or today or tomorrow, something. Okay, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.